The lights went out, the whole street went dark. And in less than 3 minutes, the babysitter was gone. No sound, no struggle, no trace. Only one question remained. How does a person disappear in the dark without anyone seeing a thing? This is the story of a quiet neighborhood, a sweet babysitter, and one summer night that changed everything. She was watching 2 children. She sent one last text. Then the power went out. When the lights came back on, the kids were safe. But the babysitter was nowhere. Tonight, we're going to walk through the mystery, step by step. We will follow the clues. We will look at the last moments anyone saw her alive. And by the time we reach the end, you won't ask how she disappeared. You'll ask what came for her. Before we go on, make sure you subscribe for more stories like this. Hit the like button so more people can see it. Share it with someone who loves deep mysteries. And tell me in the comments what you think really happened. Your voice matters here. Now, let's continue. The night Emily Carter disappeared did not look special at first. It was a warm Friday evening on Maple Ridge Lane. A soft wind moved the trees. Sprinklers clicked quietly in a few front yards. Dogs barked in the distance, then went quiet again. It was the kind of night everybody forgets, until something happens that nobody can forget. In the middle of that street stood the Henderson house. White siding, blue shutters, a small front porch with 2 chairs and a tired flower pot. Inside that house, 2 children were waiting for their favorite babysitter. Her name was Emily, 16 years old. Brown hair, usually tied in a loose ponytail. Soft eyes that made even shy kids feel safe. She was not the loud girl at school. She was the one who stayed after class to help the teacher carry books. The one who remembered kids' birthdays. The one who never forgot to text her mom when she arrived somewhere. Emily had babysat for the Hendersons many times. Lily, 7, adored her. Noah, 4, followed her like a shadow. To them, Emily was more than a babysitter. She was the big sister they didn't have. That afternoon, Emily stood in front of her bedroom mirror, putting on a simple t-shirt and jeans. Nothing fancy, just comfortable. She tied her hair up, checked her phone, and smiled at a message from Lily's mom. "See you at 6:30. We'll be back around 10. Thank you again." Emily typed back. "Of course. Tell Lily I brought the game she likes." Downstairs, her mother watched her get ready. "You okay, Em?" her mom asked. "Yeah," Emily said. "It's just babysitting." Her mom studied her for a moment. No big test. No fight with a friend. No drama. Just normal life. "Text me when you get there," her mom said, like she always did. "I will," Emily replied, like she always did. At 6:22 p.m., Emily left the house. She walked down the sidewalk with her backpack over one shoulder, the board game inside, headphones in her pocket but not in her ears. She liked to hear her own footsteps. She liked to listen to cars passing and birds calling as the sun went down. Neighbors saw her and waved. "Hey, Emily, big plans?" Mr. Alvarez called, watering his lawn. "Just babysitting," she said. "Those kids are lucky," he smiled. She smiled back and kept walking. Nothing about the way she walked said danger. She did not rush. She did not look back. She did not seem scared. At 6:29 p.m., she knocked on the Hendersons' door. Mrs. Henderson opened with a bright, rushed smile. "Emily, thank you so much. Come in, come in." Inside, the house smelled like popcorn and laundry detergent. Cartoons played quietly on the TV. Lily ran into the hallway and wrapped her arms around Emily's waist. "You brought the game?" she asked, eyes wide. "Of course," Emily said, patting her backpack. Noah toddled up with a stuffed dinosaur and pressed it into Emily's leg. His way of saying hello. Mr. Henderson appeared with keys in hand. "Emergency numbers are on the fridge," he said. "Wi-Fi password hasn't changed. We'll be back by 10. Call if you need anything, okay?" "Got it," Emily said. At 6:42 p.m., the Hendersons stepped out the door. "Be good, kids," Mr. Henderson called. The door shut. Emily locked it out of habit. She glanced at the clock. 6:43 p.m. For a while, everything felt exactly the way a normal evening should. They played the board game. They watched a movie. They laughed when Noah fell asleep halfway through and started snoring on the couch. At 8:15 p.m., Emily tucked both children into bed. She smoothed Lily's hair back from her face. She placed the dinosaur next to Noah's hand. Then she walked back to the living room, took out her phone, and sent a message to her mom. "Kids are in bed. All good." Her mother read it, smiled, and went back to washing dishes. No one who saw that message could guess what would happen next, because less than 20 minutes later, the lights on Maple Ridge Lane would go out. And when they came back on, Emily Carter would no longer be in that house. At 8:23 p.m., the street outside the Henderson house was calm. A warm breeze rattled a few leaves. A dog barked once, then went silent. A car drove by slowly and disappeared around the corner. Inside, Emily sat on the living room rug, scrolling through her phone. Not texting, not posting, just scrolling. But something about that night made her still. Not scared, not worried, just still. At 8:27 p.m., a low hum rolled through the neighborhood. Not loud, not sharp, just a deep, buzzing sound that seemed to come from the ground itself. It lasted maybe 10 seconds, maybe less. Emily lifted her head. She heard it. She felt it. She stood up slowly. Her eyes drifted toward the front window. Outside, the street looked normal, but her heart beat a little faster for reasons she could not explain. She pulled the curtain back an inch. Nothing moved. No person, no car, no shadow, just stillness. She let the curtain fall, told herself she was being silly, told herself it was a truck, construction, something normal, but her shoulders stayed tense. Her hand trembled gently on the window frame. At 8:28 p.m., she picked up her phone. She opened a message to her mom. She typed 5 words. "I think someone is outside." She stared at them. "Read them again." Her thumb hovered over send. She didn't send it. She erased part of it. Typed again. Erased it. Closed the phone. Later, detectives would stare at that unsent message for hours. Why write it and not send it? Why stop? What changed her mind? Across the street, a man named Mr. Pike sat flipping through TV channels. At 8:29 p.m., his doorbell camera recorded something. A shape, fast, tall, thin. It moved across the frame so quickly the camera barely caught it. When police slowed the footage down, the shape looked like a person wearing something long. Maybe a coat, maybe not. The head shape was wrong. The movement was wrong. The legs looked too long, or too thin. Some said it was distortion. Others said it looked like the figure leaned forward unnaturally, like it was gliding. Mr. Pike never saw it. His TV was too loud. At 8:30 p.m., Emily walked toward the hallway. Maybe to check on the children. Maybe to get water. Maybe just restless. She only took 2 steps. At 8:31 p.m., every light in the house flickered once, twice, and then went out. Total darkness. Not dim, not flickering, just gone. For 3 minutes, the street was under a blanket of dark. People stepped onto porches with flashlights. Some checked breaker boxes. Some cursed at the inconvenience. Inside the Henderson home, the children stayed asleep. No cries, no stirring. Emily made no sound. Not a footstep, not a whisper, not a call for help. At 8:34 p.m., the power snapped back on. Lights glowed, air conditioners hummed, TV screens flickered alive. Everything looked normal. Except for one thing. Emily was gone. The rug where she had been sitting was empty. Her phone sat on the kitchen counter. The front door was still locked. The back door was unlocked, but only from the inside. No footprints, no forced entry, no sign she had walked out. It was as if the darkness had opened its hands, taken her, and closed again before anyone could blink. At 9:12 p.m., the Hendersons returned home. Mrs. Henderson stepped in and froze. The house felt wrong, too still, too quiet, as if it was holding its breath. "Emily?" she called. No answer. She called again. Still no answer. Mr. Henderson checked the living room, then the kitchen. "Maybe she's in the kids' room," he said, but his voice didn't sound sure. He noticed the remote on the floor. Not dropped hard, just misplaced. A chair was turned slightly toward the hallway, like someone had stood up quickly, or turned to look at something behind them. In the hallway, the children's bedroom doors were open. They never left them open at night. Emily knew that. Inside, Lily and Noah slept peacefully, safe, untouched, which made the silence worse. "Where is she?" Mrs. Henderson whispered. Mr. Henderson opened the back door. It was unlocked. Never broken, never forced. Unlocked from the inside. Outside, the yard looked normal. Too normal. Back in the kitchen, Mrs. Henderson saw a glass tipped on its side. Water trailed across the counter. Not shattered, not thrown. Just tipped, like someone turned too fast. Then she saw Emily's phone. Still on the counter. Screen dark. Battery full. Message drafts open. Emily never left her phone. Not while babysitting. "What happened here?" Mrs. Henderson whispered. No struggle. No scream. No footprints. No signs of a break-in. Just absence. A hole where Emily should be. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands and dialed 911. "Our babysitter is gone," she said. "She was here when we left. She's not here now. The doors are still locked. There's nothing out of place. That's the problem. There's nothing at all." When the first police car arrived, the street looked peaceful. Porch lights glowing, stars above, neighbors watching from behind curtains. Inside, Officer Ramirez stepped into the living room and paused. He had never seen a house where someone vanished in 3 minutes of darkness without a clear way out. He saw the chair, the remote, the spilled water, the unlocked back door, the phone. "Any chance she walked out during the blackout?" he asked. "No," Mr. Henderson said. "The doors were locked before we left. They're still locked now. Except the back door," Ramirez said softly. "But that's from inside." He checked the hallway. No scuff marks. No scratches. 2 sleeping kids. "Strange," he murmured. "In most abductions, the kids wake up. They hear something. A struggle. A door. A voice. Something. But they hadn't." Ramirez stood still in the living room, closed his eyes, tried to feel the space. He imagined the darkness, the quiet, Emily somewhere in it. Did she panic? Did she run? Or did she see something that made her stop moving? On the floor, he found a faint scuff mark, a small, curved line from a shoe turning fast. "She turned toward something," he said. Or someone startled her. Outside, he found the footprint, long, wide in the middle, deep in dry ground. Too big for Emily, too deep for anyone on that lawn. Later, Detective Rowan arrived. He took Emily's phone from the counter in an evidence bag. The screen lit up on its own. A draft message glowed. "I think someone is outside." Timestamp: 7:02 p.m., an hour and a half before the blackout. At the bottom of her notes app, he found another line. "I saw him watching the house." No date, no time. Then came the children's words, whispers in the hallway. A white light during the blackout. A glow that made no sense. Then the neighbor's camera. A tall, thin shape gliding past. Moving wrong. Leaning wrong. Too distorted to be human. Too tall to be anything else. Then the footprints. Too long. Too deep. Lab results that said the weight pattern did not match human anatomy. Then the missing worker at the power station. Gone on the same night. A warning to his wife not to open the door for anyone. A street light flickering. A car found later with no footprints around it. A strange white residue on the hood that shimmered under light. And finally, the phone call that should not have been possible. A call from Emily's phone while it was supposed to be locked in evidence. Breathing. A faint whisper. "Mom?" Then, the phone itself appeared in the Hendersons' yard. Placed upright. Screen glowing. A new message draft. "I didn't leave." Then one last voice message. "Don't look for me. He's still here." What took Emily that night has no clear name. No neat answer. No closed file. Emily might still be somewhere, but not where a person should be. And whatever came for her on Maple Ridge Lane did not leave when the lights came back on. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe for more stories that keep you thinking long after the video ends. Like and share to support the channel. And leave a comment with your theory. I read every single one.